It's been nearly 1 year since the pandemic-era immigration policy, Title 42, was repealed. The controversial immigration policy initiated by the Trump administration expired after it was ruled to be no longer relevant. Title 42 was initiated at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Public health lockdowns allowed border officials to quickly turn away migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border in an effort to avoid or slow down the spread of the coronavirus. So, how are things looking now? 12 News journalist Allison Rodriguez is live in Yuma. And Allison, you've been there for several days now. I remember the gaps in the wall right there next to you. Can you show us what the border looks like now?
Very different than when we were here a year ago, Tram. As a matter of fact, so here is near the Morelos Dam, just on the other side of this border here on the Mexico side. Well, here is what people are used to seeing here, right? This brown kind of fencing here of the border wall. If we keep looking to our left, this now is new. This is one of the gaps that has been filled. And we know this because we spoke with Customs and Border Protection officials about these gaps. They're actually labeled. So you're seeing down there where it says Gap 3. Well, further down the road, we've been up and down through here. We saw Gap 2 labeled, Gap 4 just a little bit down the road as well. So again, it does look very different than how it looked a year ago. Many of those gaps they consider to be some of the problem have now been filled. But that doesn't mean everything is over here, Tram.
Yeah, Allison, we know the migrant encounters are down now. You've been covering the border for years, and I know you used to live and work in Yuma as well. Has it gotten worse since your time there?
You know, I never saw numbers like we saw a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So that was pretty alarming. And even I spoke with people who were born and raised here, generations here with their families. They say this has always been kind of an ebb and flow. But what they saw 1 to 2 years ago, that was just something they never expected. They are glad to see numbers are down now. And Tram, we're talking drastically in this sector. The Yuma sector is down right now. Migrant encounters the fiscal year to date, more than 70%. But here's the thing that is completely different. Last year, I spent time in Nogales at the end of Title 42, and that's where migrant encounters were down significantly. So a lot of the help there Yuma sector was dealing with, they were sending people over to Tucson to try and help with the processing. Now that is completely different. Yuma numbers are now down. However, Tram, what is not different is they are still processing a lot of people because Tucson is now overwhelmed, as is San Diego. They're all being sent now here to Yuma for processing.
All right, Allison, we know you're going to have a lot more coming up at 5 o'clock about the shift to processing in the Yuma sector. We'll see you then. Thank you so much.